What was this house?
Nyumba hii.
Nyumba hii. These trees?
Miti hii.
Miti hii. So when we want to say this or these, and we're referring to something we've already referred to, from he we get hio, H-I-Y-O. So when we change the last I to an O, we also get an extra Y there, hio.
Hio.
So if you want to say this house, the one we're talking about, the one he mentioned,
Nyumba hio.
nyumba hio. And these trees, the ones we've already mentioned,
Miti hio.
miti hio. So we've seen how we have two different ways to form this or these, depending on whether we're referring to something that we have already referred to. So if you want to say, this house is very expensive, and you're pointing at the house,
Nyumba hio.
but you're pointing at the house. So if you're already talking about it, you're probably not pointing at it. No? So this would be like, referencing something for the first time. This house is very expensive. And of course, it doesn't mean the first time in your life, but in the conversation. No? So this house is very expensive.
Nyumba hii ni ghali sana.
Nyumba hii ni ghali sana. This house, the one you mentioned, is very expensive.
Nyumba hiyo ni ghali sana.
Nyumba hiyo ni ghali sana. This house, the mentioned house, was built a long time ago.
Nyumba hiyo ilijengwa zamani.
Very good. Nyumba hiyo ilijengwa zamani. You will find these alternative versions of the words this and these that we use when we've already referred to something. You will find these around the language in various expressions as well. For example, therefore or thus is kwa hiyo. Of course, this just means for this, because of this. This already mentioned, of course, when we say therefore, because of this. That's a this already mentioned, no? Qua hiyo. So we might translate that as therefore, thus, or even that's why. So if you say, for example, therefore I can't go.
Kwa hiyo ziwezi kuenda.
Good, but z sounds a lot like z.
Siwezi.
Siwezi. That's important because z already we're going to be thinking about like plural and nouns. No? Kwa hiyo siwezi kuenda. Therefore, he wants this book.
Kwa hiyo anataka kitabu hiki.
Very good. Kwa hiyo anataka kitabu hiki. If you want to say this book, and we mean a book that's already been referred to, we get kitabu hicho. Kitabu hicho.
Kitabu hicho.
So we got the K to CH change again. No, we would have ki to ko, but when we put that o on the K, it became cho. So we get hicho. Kitabu hicho.
Kitabu hicho.
So how would you say? Therefore, he wants this book, the one we're talking about, the one we've referred to already.
Kwa hiyo anataka kitabu hicho.
Very good. Kwa hiyo anataka kitabu hicho. And if we have hicho instead of hiki, what will we have instead of vitabu hivi when we're referring to books already referred to?
Vitabu hivyo.
So if adding the o onto ki turned it into cho, adding the o onto vi will turn into
vyo. Yes.
Vyo. Good. So these books already referred to?
Vitabu hivyo.
Vitabu hivyo. If you had read these books, you would have known. So if you had read these books, and we're referring to books already mentioned, if you had read these books,
ungali soma vitabu hivyo.
Ungali soma vitabu hivyo, you would have known.
Ungali jua.
If you had read these books, ungali soma vitabu hivyo, you would have known. Ungali jua. So we've seen kwa hiyo for therefore, thus. We could also have kwa hivyo for that as well. Kwa hiyo, kwa hivyo. You can also use hivyo, like really, hivyo,
hivyo,
hivyo, really. You could also say hata hivyo, hata hivyo, even so, hata hivyo, even so.
hata hivyo,
The hata is like the Spanish hasta, H-A-S-T-A in Spanish, both of which come from Arabic. So hata hivyo, even so. You could say, even so, he wants this one. And with this one, we refer to a book already mentioned. So, even so, he wants this one.
hata hivyo, anataka
This one.
hicho.
Good. Even so, he wants this one. Hata hivyo, anataka hicho. This one referring to a book, just this, hicho. Even so, they want this one. Still referring to a book that we've already mentioned. Even so, they want this one.
Hata hivyo, wanataka hicho.
Hata hivyo, wanataka hicho. Hivyo or hivyo hivyo also means like this, in this way. Hivyo hivyo, like this.
Hivyo hivyo.
You could say, you have to do it like this. You have to do it like this. Necessary, obligation, you to do like this.
Lazima ufanye hivyo hivyo.
Very good. Lazima ufanye hivyo hivyo. You have to do it like this. You could also say, si hivyo, not like that. Not in this way, si hivyo.
Si hivyo.
So look out for these used in expressions around Swahili, and you will be reminded of their forms, these, this, or these, ending in o. And when you look out for these, you'll also be reminded not only of their form, but of their use, referring to something already mentioned, as is necessary if you say, therefore, even so, like this, not like this. With all of these thises, you are referring to things already mentioned. How do you say this child?
Mtoto huu. No, because it's animated. Mtoto huyu.
Good. Mtoto huyu. And if you've already referred to that child, how do you say this child?
Mtoto huyo.
Mtoto huyo. These children.
Watoto hawa.
Watoto hawa. And if you want to say these children we've already referred to, we get a small change. We have how. So the W in hawa disappears and we get how. Watoto hao.
Watoto hao.
So how would you say, thus, these children are learning Chinese? Therefore, these children already mentioned, are learning Chinese, are reading Chinese.
Kwa hiyo watoto hawa, we already mentioned them. Hao wanasoma Kichina.
Very good. Kwa hiyo, watoto hao wanasoma Kichina. Do you remember the word for name? It's a G noun.
Jina.
Jina. And we said that although we have a G noun here starting G, this G is not actually from the noun group. Just by coincidence, Jina starts with G. It belongs to the G group, but it doesn't have any beginning, like a lot of nouns in this group don't, which is what it has common with the N group, no? So we know that G is a part of the noun, because when we make the plural, we don't remove it. How do you say names?
Majina.
Majina. How would you say this name?
Jina hili.
Jina hili. I love this name.
Ninapenda jina hili.
Ninapenda jina hili. So maybe you're looking at names in a baby book, and you point to it and you say, I love this name. But if you're referring to a name already mentioned, how would you say that? I love this name. So I mention a name and you say, oh, I love this name.
Ninapenda jina hilo.
Ninapenda jina hilo. Very good. And the word for names was?
Majina.
Majina. These names. How do we match with the plural of G nouns, with ma nouns? What do we use to refer to them?
Ya.
Yeah. So these names?
Majina haya.
Majina haya. She likes these names. And let's stress she. She likes these names.
Yeye anapenda majina haya.
Good. So imagine I'm showing you some names or pointing to some names or giving you a list of names and I say, Yeye anapenda majina haya. She likes these names. But if somebody is talking about some names and you want to say, oh, she likes these names, the ones you are already referring to, then how would we say that? She likes these names.
Yeye anapenda majina hayo.
Good. Anapenda majina hayo. Good.